technology, but we service the country. In fact, actually, I just put my first non-E event on it in South Dakota, thanks to Sydney. I'm doing the tickets for one of her events, and they've been selling like hotcakes. So it's been kind of fun. So anyway, I want to welcome everybody and thank everybody for coming, even in this really, really hot weather. We've got tomorrow night, we've got the main event with Tana in Sydney, and then Karen Staley also, who is a Nashville award-winning singer-songwriter. So she's going to do our national anthem and do a couple of songs. So that's pretty cool. And she is on her way. She's being escorted by Wile E. Coyote. And when you see my mom and dad's truck driving around the area, you will understand. So we're going to have a great time here. I want to introduce Tana. And for those of you that don't know Tana, she was on The Apprentice in season 3 in the runner-up. She represented Iowa so well. I was so proud of her because I watched every minute. I was very, very proud of her. And Tana has a great mission with children and with just with people in general to be willing to stand up for your convictions. So I want to introduce Tana and have her get up and talk for a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Well, I'm so excited you guys all decided to come out. Thank you so much. As you heard, I am Tana, and the most important job that I've had, I've had quite a few jobs, great jobs, but being a mom is my favorite job. I have 2 children. I have a 26-year-old son, and I have a 23-year-old daughter. My daughter lives in California. My son lives 3 miles from me in Iowa, Waukee, Iowa. And I absolutely love being a mom because it's a full-time job. It's the most important job. And if you dedicate yourself to being a good parent, you will actually raise good children, and you will go out to be productive human beings. And I just think that that's so important. So kudos for you parents who brought your children here today. It's important for kids to learn how to be leaders, how to be a leader instead of a follower, how to be strong, how to be confident, and how to have friends that are strong, confident, like-minded individuals. Because as we have seen in the world, there's so many different types of people that are very much different than ourselves, and we ask ourselves, why do the same people associate with each other, the same type of individual? And like attracts like. Just like a magnet attracts itself, your friends are a representation of who you are. So if your friends aren't good, your friends are nasty, your friends are mean, that must mean maybe you are nasty and you're mean. So I always suggest to the young children to be like Finny. Finny is a character in my children's book that I wrote almost 20 years ago. And Finny was different her whole life, just like I was different my whole life. And some of those things that made Finny different were she was a leader, and her friends didn't like that. She was strong, and her friends were weak and didn't like that. She was outgoing and loud and wild and sort of obnoxious, as people would say, and her friends were quiet and meek. She was a defender of people who weren't being treated right. A lot of people didn't like that because they tolerated other people being mean to other people. And Finny's friends were very strong, confident, and kind people as well. Well, Finny was me, and Finny still is me. And all my life, people say, well, give me an example. So let me give you an example. I moved 13 times in my life because my dad kept getting a better job, and was chasing the American dream that we all want. And our great President Trump instilled that we can all have the American dream. And my father kept chasing the American dream. We kept getting a better job. He'd get a better job. We'd move. He'd get a better job. We'd move. Well, that meant I had to say goodbye to all my friends. I had to leave the kids that were my buddies. buddies. I had to go to a new school. I had to make new friends. That wasn't easy. So what I realized in life was you want to make good friends that are like you, that no matter where you go, they'll still be your friend. And to this day, I try to find friends that are still like me, that are leaders, that don't care what other people think. I'm proud to say Sydney's a friend of mine. And Sydney is very much like me. We're females that are fearless, that fight for freedom. Now, back when I was a young girl, I didn't know anything about fighting for freedom, but what I did know was what was right and what was wrong. So when I go to school, like all of you go to school, I don't care if you're as young as Elliot, or if you're as old as the girls in the back, or if you're as old as Alex, who's a teenager, anybody at any age, if you notice that somebody's not being treated right, I don't care if it's at the lunchroom, if it's on social media, or if it's on a humongous stage like Sydney and I are dealing with, defending people, you stand up for what's right or what's wrong because you're being watched. Your friends are watching what you're doing. Your friends are watching how you're reacting. Your friends are watching if you're a leader. So I just got off of Rag Ride. You'll hear a little bit more about that tomorrow night. But I just got off of the bike ride, and along the whole state of Iowa, we're stopping at farms, and this stand and that stand, watermelon stand and corn stand, and kids selling Gatorade and lemonade. And so I want to stop at all those stands that the kids are trying to raise money. So I pulled over to this one. There was about 6 girls and 6 guys. They were each selling something individual. A bunch of young kids, maybe, I don't know, 8, 9, 10. What are you selling? And the girls are like, we're selling selfies. I'm thirsty. I'm thinking, I'm thirsty and I'm starving. Gosh, I don't need a selfie. Oh, what are you selling selfies for? Well, we're just trying to raise money, and we figured we'd sell selfies. I said, okay, I like that. Let's take a selfie. So I take a selfie, give them their money, and they were sweet. Now we go over to the boys' area. What are you guys selling? We're selling peaches. Peaches? Oh my gosh, I want a peach. So there's 6 guys. One of the guys, just like in the selfie stand, one of the girls was the leader. They were all taking orders from him. So he's like, get her a peach, get her a peach, get her a napkin. He was the boss, right? And the other 5 were just sitting there like bump on a log, not saying anything, not hustling for my money, not trying to entice me that I do want a peach because I'm so thirsty. They all just sat there and they let the other guy just take over. Well, they had to split the money. And I didn't think that was right because they didn't work for it. So I said, come here, what's your name? Bobby. I said, Bobby, I'm really impressed with you. I really like how you stepped up. I can tell that you're the leader. I can tell that you're going to be successful. And I was beaming with pride. And I said in front of everybody really loud, I said, come here, I want to give you a tip. So I gave him a $20 tip. And what? The peach was only $2. I said, I know. I paid for the peach, but you get a $20 tip because you were a leader. You keep going. I said, you're going to be a big star someday. You're going to be successful. You're going to have a lot of friends, and you're going to be a leader your whole life. You're already leading, and you're 9 years old. And the girls were sitting there like that. And I said, well, I know who the leader was this group. So went over and had a chat with the girls and said, you need to bring your game up. As women, we need to bring our game up. We need to realize we are just as deserving of success as anybody else. Sometimes society says, as women, be a little more soft-spoken. As women, don't go for it. As women, don't be so vocal. Don't be so loud. Don't be so ambitious. Don't be so driven. I say, oh, no, you go for it, girls. So all my life, I tried to fit in, and I realized fitting in doesn't get you anywhere. Standing out is what gets you opportunities, and gets you a lot, actually. Makes you successful, gets you opportunities. And what I noticed traveling the world as a professional speaker and having friends like Sydney and my other friends that are strong, confident, successful women is the common denominator in all of us is we have the courage to be disliked. Let me repeat that for all you teenagers. You have to have the courage to be okay with not being liked. And that takes courage, even as adults. I know, as adults, we go through this all the time. Even just a couple days ago, I had to have the courage to be disliked from my peers that I was riding bicycles across the state of Iowa with. Because I had to say no about something just stupid, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you have the courage to say, I don't care if you like me or not, I'm going to stand up for what's right, I'm going to be my own person, peer pressure doesn't exist. Yes, it exists, but it should just roll right off of you because you're confident and you know that you don't need to do what other people are doing, whether that's drinking alcohol, whether that's staying, going to parties, whether that is fighting for our president, fighting for our flag, standing up when people want to kneel for our anthem or our flag. That's being a leader and having the courage to be disliked. A lot of people don't have that mastered yet. But when you do, like we do, the sky's the limit, folks. People are attracted to strong, bold, confident people who do not care what anyone thinks about them. They push forward with their mission, what's right, what's ethical, and they succeed. And one other thing I want to leave you with is a lot of people are very, very, very jealous of success. I repeat, I don't care if you're little as Elliot or as old as me, people are jealous of success. So when you start rising, whether that's in high school, being student council president, or whether that's being an amazing attorney like Sydney, or a professional speaker like me, or a business owner like a lot of you, you think your friends, you think your peers are in the back clapping for you? You would hope. But deep down, they're like, it's enough, Tana. It's enough. Like, you've done enough. How many cases do you want to take? You've done enough. How many businesses do you want to own? You're successful enough. How many houses do you want to own? You have enough. No. If you want it, you go get it. Don't listen to what the masses say. I always say, do the opposite of the majority. So if everybody's walking that way, go that way. If everybody's eating that, eat a bomb pop. If everybody's eating Fairway ice cream, eat Blue Bunny ice cream. You know what I mean? Go the opposite way. Every great opportunity I have ever had in my life, and I've had great ones, from being on The Apprentice to being a senior advisor for our great 45th president in 2016 and 2020, to being on Fear Factor, to being an author, a professional speaker, life coach, you name it. Every opportunity came because I went for it and I wasn't afraid. So that's really the message I want to leave to everyone here, parents and kids, but mostly kids because you're at a very impressionable age. Go for your dreams. As Finney always says, life is a gift. You never know. You never know what your break's going to be or where your opportunity is going to lie, but grab that ball and run with it. So I want to thank you all for being here. I look forward to meeting you all after everyone's done speaking and hopefully signing some books. And if not, I'll see you all tomorrow evening for a wonderful event. But thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Tana. That was a great, wonderful message because we've kind of probably all been there at some time in our life where it's